guys, I'm Leila. Welcome to Raid Lore Stories. So today we're going to be checking out this new champ here, Karnage the Anarch. He's the newest mythic champ added to the game. He's available in the city of Centranos, right? The cursed city. As you play through, you're able to progress and then you'll be able to get him. So check him out. We're going to check out his Super Saiyan form. He looks really, really good. Guys, I'd love to know for like the mythic champs in the game, who's your favorite? And who's your favorite look-wise? I still really like Siegfried. I think he looks amazing as well too. And I also really like Crixia. They look really great. But on that, we are going to read Karnage's story today and see, what happened with all this, okay? So let's read together. Chaos, pandemonium, bedlam, disorder. These are all that Karnage the Anarch, a master manipulator and sadistic killer, has ever cared for. The horrifying and unexpected can cause desperation in any soul, and in reaction to these events, individuals are forced to behave in ways they normally never would to survive. Thus, they bring about novelty, and to witness this is Karnage's driving force. Why he is like this is a mystery beyond even the gods. Not even they truly understand what happens when the firstborn were created. Each being birthed from that experiment was unique in temperament and desires. There were angelic beings of sublime beauty and purity of spirit, creatures that defied any categorization, and beasts of undeniable malignant heart and monstrous bearing. After the Dance of Darkness forever drove a wedge of hatred between LeMay and Serath and the Great Divorce began, no one who knew Karnage was surprised that he took the Shadow God's side. For years he had been a sour of discord between mortals and immortals alike, a malicious experimenter whose caprice resulted in the spilling of blood and the toppling of keeps. His allegiance to Serath was not something born of any kind of loyalty. Karnage merely saw that the god's plans were by far the most entertaining. The Dance of Darkness had brought all manner of slobbering predatory beasts and malformed creatures that wreaked havoc wherever they tread or slithered. The prospect of the Shadow God creating more and more without check was one Karnage relished. LeMay's relentless penchant for order and regularity was something so painfully dull to him that the thought of it playing any dominant role in the world was the only thing he truly feared. Serath suffered setback after setback in the centuries that followed. The banishment spell saw the immortals cast from Teleria itself. A disaster only turned around when the later Dragonkin invasion of Anathrad failed, and the demons could use the mortal bodies of captured soldiers to return to Teleria. Karnage took great pleasure in choosing the most honorable captive he could find to possess to make himself a demon spawn. The First Great War, which followed the demon spawn's invasion of the mortal world, ended in catastrophic defeat. Karnage was furious for a time for failure-stalled plans of his that would cause untold mayhem and conflict. But the debacle proved to be even more enjoyable to him. Serath's rage and the frustrations of his fellow demon spawn were amusing to a degree he hadn't anticipated. Ultimately, what were setbacks for Serath were, at most, partly so for Karnage. The captive of the Brimstone Gate and the Shadow God's creation of innumerable portals gave easy access to Teleria from Anathrad, and ever since Karnage taken great advantage of this. To the dwarves, during the collapse of their great under-empire, Karnage was known as the Grinning Flame, who laughed while trapping detachments of warriors in caved-in tunnels with slavering demon spawn hounds, and using torrents of balefire to force skittering demon spawn towards ranks of dwarven crossbowmen. When Serath's forces surged across the Winterlands to seize the waters of life, Karnage took the form of Nor refugees. He went from village to village, telling inhabitants that their neighbors sought to betray them, weakening Telerian unity in the face of demon spawn horde. Karnage laughed as the ice golem tore through the great and good of the Confederation of Frostheim. He delighted as elf fought elf in their tumultuous and bloody civil war. Lady Mikaj herself called him the burner of webs for his feeding of false intelligence to her network of operatives and turning many for and against her. In the build-up to the Red Crusade, Karnage whispered into the ears of skinwalkers and orcs, as well as Sacred Order warriors and orders of Karok, stirring up mutual hatred and encouraging unprovoked attacks on all. Karnage cared not for who wins or loses war in the Teleria, nor in the endless plotting of Anathrad. He lives only for the chaos they cause. The conflicts are but a game, the entire world a board upon which he moves all the pieces he wishes according to ever-changing rules that are entirely his own. Many demons spawn as well as Talarians who know of Carnage's existence believe these interfere with Serath's own designs too. Hypotheses have spread that he encouraged demon spawn and Talaria to take no part in the Third Great War and to turn on Lady Makaj and Yakai. It may have even been Carnage's idea that Serath's attempt to force Lumeia to dance with him millennia ago. Karnage neither confirms nor denies any of these allegations. As for Serath himself, as much as the Anarch might be a dangerous force, his desire for greater chaos is one predictable thing about him, and Serath is, if nothing else, a seeker of novelty himself. All in all, for every injury Karnage may have inflicted upon the god of shadow, he has inflicted 10 upon his foes. Carnage's latest experiment is with the free city of Centranos to see how wounded dogs might bite if someone rattled their cage. Devastated during the Galan War and never recovered, it was eclipsed by its sister city of Delanos in the conflict's aftermath. It was a place of malaise and quiet despair, full of the hopeless and the lethargic, making it ripe for the Anarch's attention. As he saw it, its people needed something to stir them to life from their moribund, impoverished existence. The medium he chose is a mediocre mage of middling age called Amethyst, who was torn between the safety of the city he knew and the sense that out of the wider world something better waited for him. The man was weak and open to the honeyed words and promises of power Karnage fed to him in disguise. What happened next caused Centranos to be cursed beyond recognition and brought about a veritable maelstrom of confused panic, turmoil, and death that threatens to draw in forces unnumbered. Wow, guys, that was a pretty good story. They did a really good job, really just kind of they added so much to this. So basically it seems like Karnage was one of the angels, very much like Cardinal in some ways, right? Because they talk about how there was a division, and so instead of following the Sacred Order of Lumeia, Karnage went to Demon Spawn and Serath, right? And basically he's just causing wreck and havoc and terror everywhere. And so they're saying that he's actually the one that created Amius, who is going to be the boss in the new cursed city. So I like how they actually explain in some ways what happened, because when we checked out the lore for the cursed city, it almost makes it seem like Serath's behind it, but it's really not. It's this guy. It's Karnage just having some fun, as it shows here. Guys, I'd love to know what you think for the story for the brand new Mythic in the game, and thanks for watching.